Tree Country 1330 WTRE. We are back here. It's 8:35. We've got the Decatur County Sheriff Bill Myros with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's happening?
Let's start off with schools.
School is back.
School's back in session. We've had a great start from our perspective.
Good.
We haven't pulled over anybody for passing school buses with their arms out, so that's a good thing. We've had a good start to the school year from our perspective.
And we need to obey the speed limit.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
And again, we're working the school zones both before school and as they get out. We're running traffic through there to make sure that everything is run safely.
And I know, and I don't know how much because this is just off the cuff. So I know out at North Decatur they were working through some drop-off lines and all of that kind of stuff. Had some backup on 3 here and there. Do you know if that's resolved to some degree?
I believe it has been, yes.
Okay. It was just a little crazy there at the beginning of the school year.
But we need to remain vigilant when we see school buses, though, the school zones especially.
That's right. Slow it down. Pay attention.
Yes.
No phones.
No phones. Put your phone down. That's
right.
Nothing is more important than you got to take a phone call.
You'll live without it.
Yes.
Well, good. We're glad to hear it's a good start to the school year.
It is, yes.
What else is happening?
Talk some jail things this morning. We provide lots of programming inside the jail, and I'm really proud of the programming we have provided because, again, we want our people, when they come out of jail, we want to be successful. We want to help in that matter however we can. So we've had some programs here recently that have been successful. We had our Residents Encountering Christ the past 2 weekends, which is a big program. The first weekend we had 18 females, and the second weekend we had 24 males. So that was very successful. That was a good program. And then we've also had what's called the SMART program. I had to write this down because I can't remember it all. So the Self-Management and Recovery Training Program. So we had 11 people graduating from that program last week. So again, another successful program.
So tell us what goes into that program.
Well, again, it's about recognizing why you're in jail and how you can change your attitude and behaviors when you get out so you don't fall back into the same rut.
Those cycles just seem to happen. And, we've talked a lot about this with the CIT and those kind of things that generationally we see it.
Yes.
And then just the cycling. And it's really teaching people how to live the right life. Correct,
it is. And there's one gentleman who's in there right now who he and I have known each other professionally for 30 years. And so I was talking to him the other day, and he has really, I believe he's really truly changed his life at this point. He realizes now, again, 30 years later, what all he's done wrong in his life, so he ends up in jail all the time. So I really believe he's going to make a difference when he does get out this next time, and I hope so. I wish him success.
I think sometimes people have the mindset, and it's taken a huge mindset change for all of us as we've kind of embraced all the changes here with mental health and other things. But the success is what we want to see. You're not sitting there waiting to bring them back into your jail.
Absolutely not. Again, if we can keep them out, it's a good thing for everybody. Financially, for the taxpayer, it's a lot better that we don't have people in jail. So. Yeah, it's good for everybody.
You talked about the REC program a little bit. Can you tell us who came in and provided that REC program this time?
Well, that's a joint effort between several churches. And if you're familiar with the Emmaus Walk, it's very similar to that. So, again, they come in twice a year, so 4 weekends total for the year. And, again, it's well attended. It's well accepted by our folks that are there. And the folks that come in do a tremendous job.
And that's their choice to participate?
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't force anybody to attend any programming at all. It's all at their choice if they want to do it.
They want to make the difference, right?
Correct, yes. They got to make that first step themselves.
Absolutely. Any other programming going on currently?
One last one is the Moral Recognition Training, or MRT. The United Fund has been very helpful to us in providing funds for purchase books for MRT. We had 2 graduates this week of that program as well. So again, another good program that our LCSW is managing and monitoring. So we're making some progress with some programs.
What are some of the things that go into that program?
Well, again, it's similar to what the SMART program was. Again, it's recognizing what got you to where you're at today and how you can change those attitudes and beliefs.
You brought on Desiree back, was that February or earlier this year?
Yeah, February, March.
That's going to been, I actually had a chance to talk to one of your jailers this last week too. That's going to really been a transformation for everybody to have her there and accessible.
It absolutely has. Again, our old medical contract, we got 4 hours a week of an LCSW. in 4 hours a week does not scratch the surface. And now that we have her full time, she's able to do one-on-one counseling. She's able to do the group counseling. She's running the MRT programming. She's really busy, and we're just thrilled to have her because she is making a difference.
We're seeing good outcomes.
Yeah. And then there's another piece to that as well for our staff, because again, we see some bad things occasionally, and we're able to use Desiree and Mike Eggleston and that group to debrief for our people, so we can make sure all of our people have their heads screwed on right after dealing with some of these tragedies. So that's another big benefit as well.
You know, we the fire chief and I had talked about that some, is the mentality, that mental health for an officer, a fireman, because it's not always a good situation that you walk into.
Again, I'm the old man around here, but the first 34 years of my career, we didn't debrief anything. We just moved on to the next call. And I think we've had either 3 or 4 debriefings this year already, which makes a large difference for our people.
What's that like for you, though, coming from, let's say, the old mentality to now this new transition?
You know, I got to learn the new tricks as well. And again, it's just a part of this generation as well. So, again, whatever we can do to make sure our people are safe and in a good space, we're going to do that as well.
Very good. Lots of good stuff happening. CIT is in full swing.
CIT is in full swing, and they are doing a tremendous job. Last week was the last time I looked at their numbers, and they were around 170 calls for service already. So, Mike and his crew are doing a tremendous job. And again, if we can get people who have mental health issues that we're dealing with, if we can get them to a facility, to a bed somewhere, rather than bringing them to jail, that's a really good outcome as well.
You know, you hear the term a lot, getting the right people on the right bus in the right seat. And it's the same concept. It's jail may not be the answer for them.
Right. And again, in days past, that was the only option because we didn't have the resources that we do have today. And again, keep telling about Mike and his crew. They have identified those resources. They've been networking with them, building relationships with them. So when Mike calls, those folks know that we've got a situation that needs to be dealt with because we don't mess around with that.
And it really provides a lot of support to your other patrolmen and jailers.
Absolutely. We have to, if we take one to the ER, somebody for a medical assessment to the ER, we have to stay there and maintain with them. And the CIT groups are coming out and taking care of that, so our road guys can get back to answering calls on the road.
Very good. What other good stuff we got happening?
Something I'm really excited about this week, both the commissioners and the council approved medical sensors. As I'm sure you well know, technology in the medical field is changing rapidly. So we've got 4 cells, 2 padded cells and 2 medical cells that house our obviously high-risk inmates, whether it's a mental health issue or a medical issue. So they've allowed me to purchase 4 sensors, if you will, that will go in each one of those rooms. They'll be mounted above the door, and it works on radar. And it tracks their biometrics, so to speak, pulse, respiration. So if something fluctuates rapidly, an alarm goes off in our booking area and in our main control room to alert our staff know that there's a medical issue. Those 4 cells, if somebody's in there, they get checked on every 15 minutes. But again, as you well know, if you're having a medical event, 15 minutes is a long, long time. So if we can identify if somebody's having a stroke, a seizure, whatever, more quickly, we can get addressed more quickly and get EMS on the way. So maybe we can save a life with one of these. And
so are those cells like a single cell? Sorry.
Correct. Yeah, they are. Each one is a single cell. Again, 2 padded and 2 medical. And it's not unusual to have 3 out of the 4 always full. So again, our jail staff is busy, but they check on them every 15 minutes. But again, if something happens in that 15 minutes, that's a long time. Well,
and a medical emergency doesn't run on a time frame.
No, it does not.
So you might have been in there, and 1 minute later,
exactly,
it happens.
Yeah. So again, I hope it's going to identify more quickly somebody having a medical issue, and we can get it addressed and get them to the hospital if that's what needs to happen, and hopefully save a life if that's what gets that serious.
And, when people are coming in, everyone doesn't think about it, but it could be a heart attack, stroke. But,
sure.
If they've got a drug in their system and they're coming off of that, withdrawals is a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely. And again, there's another piece to that, obviously less important than the medical piece, but it's our liability. It limits our liability as well. So if we can address it quicker, it limits our liability should something severe happen.
I do find these fascinating, though. Once I heard about them, I had to look them up because it's just picking up off the body. So it's just it's nothing that attaches to the actual inmate.
Correct. It does not. It's strictly radar. There's other jails that already have these in use and finding them to be a very good tool.
All right. And we're getting 4 of those?
We are. One for each of our cells, yes.
Very nice. Do we have a time frame?
We don't. It's just approved earlier this week, so we're still trying to get things in motion.
Very good. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Some good progress.
Yes.
What else is happening?
Well, again, we talked about CIT, but again, they're making progress. Another program that is important to our staff that John Bundick, one of the CIT members, has come up with. It's a law enforcement spouse academy.
Okay.
So we've offered it to all of our spouses of our law enforcement, both for the police department, well, for all law enforcement in Decatur County. It's going to be a 4-week course, Tuesday nights I think it is, for a couple hours every Tuesday night. We're going to come in and show what their spouses, loved ones go through on the job every day and help them see what's going on in their lives. So when they come home tired or grumpy or not talking, give them some insight as to why and how they can manage those issues. Because we want all of them to be in better relationships at home as well.
There's a lot that goes in, and like I said, Fire Chief and I have had this discussion too, but there's a lot that goes into these jobs that people have no idea.
They really don't. And that's not a bad thing. Again, Greensburg, Decatur County has the same stuff Indianapolis has, just on a smaller scale, obviously. But yeah, and the majority of people in Greensburg and Decatur County don't realize what we have, and that's okay. That is okay, but it's still stuff that we in law enforcement, medical field, EMS, fire, we still have to deal with it.
And I think being successful at home, too, being able to come to work with that clear mind and,
yes,
knowing your family is safe and your relationship is good, it makes
right.
you be able to be a better employee.
Yeah, we don't want them coming to work with trouble at home on their minds. Their minds need to be clear when they come to work, and we want to help them accomplish that as well.
So that's a very new thing for you guys,
It
right?
It is. And again, it's not something that's... we're plagiarizing, to be honest, the program. But again, I see a lot of value in that program for our staff.
Very good. And that's starting soon?
In September, yes.
Very good.
And I believe we have 13 signed up for it already. And again, our staff will not be there. It's strictly for spouses or fiancés, whatever the case may be. And we're going to provide some good insight for what goes on in our jobs.
I think, too, that just helps the spouse be able to handle. It's a lot. You come home from something that's tragic,
right,
and you're trying to process through that before a debriefing.
Right. And, sometimes we don't want to talk about that when we get home. So the spouses need to understand and try to help their loved one get through that.
It's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
Good exciting things happening.
It is. And, again, a lot of it revolves around CIT. I hate to sing the praises of Mike Eggleston, but
kills you every time, doesn't it?
It does. But he is just doing a tremendous job, and we couldn't have had a better find in Mike. And the rest of the crew as well.
I had a great discussion with Tammy Winning yesterday because this, kind of stems from the Lilly Foundation, but just really watching our entire community wrap their arms around this, and I think it's taken that to get us to this point.
Right.
Because if Mike was the standalone guy and said, "Hey, we're going to do this," and that was it, I don't know that we would have seen the success. And to watch Mike talk in a room again, we're singing Mike's praises, but to watch him lead a group of people, he can bring it all together for everybody.
Absolutely. So a little story about Mike. Every July, the Indiana Sheriff's Association has a big conference down at French Lick, and the last evening of the conference, they have a big banquet, and they give away Sheriff of the Year awards and a whole bunch of awards. So I did nominate Mike for all his work in this CIT and the grant for the Jail Commander of the Year award. And so, I spent some time drafting a nominating letter. Some people in the community offered letters of support. I pulled some media stuff together. I thought, man, Mike's a shoe-in for this award. Well, when it came time to register for the conference, I told Mike, I said, you need to go to the banquet this year. And he was like, I'm not going to the banquet. No, Mike, you're going to the banquet this year. So he was like, reluctantly, okay, I'll go to the banquet. He wasn't happy about it. So I was just confident he was going to win that award. And so we get down there for the banquet, and he didn't win the award.
I know. I asked you about it previous to that because we had some
Yeah.
discussion about it. And you said I haven't heard anything.
Well, so yeah, the guy. I'm not diminishing what the guy that won his job, but when his sheriff got up there, he said he did a great job running the jail, and he started 2 new programs in the jail this year. And I thought, man, a great job for you. Did your guy help get a $3 million grant? You know.
Right.
And so I was a little aggravated with the Indiana Sheriff Association, but regardless,
You've aired that grievance now.
yeah, I
It is
have.
out.
And I still can't let it go.
And our hearts, Mike won.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah.
There's been a lot of growth this year. I mean, I truly, and I obviously come from the, medical side of it, but to sit back and look, since that whole program has kind of started and the Lilly grants come to fruition, there's just been a lot of growth in this community with all of that.
There has. And again, it's all about building those relationships and networking with everybody, which again we did not do well in the past, but we are now.
Yeah, there's and I think too the realization of how much we already each offered in the community, and now it's
a combined effort
it is.
now.
Yeah.
Yes. And again, our resources are expanding daily.
It's exciting stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's good for our community.
It's I think truly what we need right now. So
It is.
how what's capacity like in the jail right now?
Well, again, our max capacity is 242. This morning we were at 122. And we've been hovering between the 120 and 130, which is a manageable number, obviously.
All right. Are we seeing any trends of auto theft or home break-ins or anything to that degree?
No property crimes to speak of. No jump in that. Again, meth is still our biggest problem. Majority of the people in jail are there for meth. And obviously I've never done meth, but that just has to be so grabbing and addictive that they just can't let go.
That's what we continue to hear from people.
Right.
If now, I'm just going to throw this out again. It's comes to mind. But if you are out there and say you have a drug addiction and you're needing help, is CIT someone that can help connect you to getting that help? Is that an appropriate resource or no?
Absolutely. In fact, we've had a couple people come in the lobby at the sheriff's department saying, "Hey, I need to talk to CIT because I've got a problem. I need some help." So again, the word's getting out there, and the CIT is being recognized. And in fact, our CIT is being recognized by neighboring counties because we're doing it right, and they're wanting to know how and why we're doing it, and we're sharing that with our neighbors.
I know. Was it Bartholomew County that Mike went and spoke with? Am I thinking correctly?
He did, yes. He spoke to a group at Cummins because they were concerned about their mental health issues. So yeah, he did go over and speak there as well.
Very good. Any new staff yet right now?
We have one new road deputy that we hired 2 months ago, Cordell Meadows. He goes to the academy next month in September, so he'll be gone for the rest of the year. A good young man, went to South Decatur. We're really excited to have him, and we're excited to get him to the academy and get him back to work.
Everybody else out of the academy and going?
Correct, yeah.
How long does that academy process take?
The academy process, it's 16 weeks.
Okay.
So they're gone for a significant amount of time.
It's an investment into their career.
It is, and it's an investment for us as well. But our turnover has dropped drastically, which we're really happy about, both in the jail and on the roadside as well. So we're in a good place right now, and I'm really happy with everybody. We've got a good staff.
Very good. Any other news? I mean, you've covered a ton today.
Yeah, that's all I've got for today.
All right. It's 8:54 here on Tree Country 1330.